Burma's moral collapse, a nation betrayed by its own guardians. The transformation of Burma, from a nation once rooted in shared values to one gripped by systemic moral decay, reveals how tyranny doesn't just dismantle democracy, it corrodes the very soul of a society. A childhood shaped by suppression. Born in 1988, amid the blood-soaked pro-democracy uprising, I grew up in the shadow of tanks and tear gas. Thousands died simply demanding the right to choose their leaders. What followed was not just a military takeover, it was a remapping of our moral compass. Dissent was met with death. Students were shot. Monks were beaten. Peaceful protests were crushed with brute force. And from that moment on, fear was folded into the DNA of daily life. When corruption becomes culture. Military rule didn't just seize power, it rewired the rules of survival. Corruption became not just common, but compulsory. Bribes were necessary for everything: a child's place in school, a business permit, a passport. Even in hospitals, patients were often forced to tip just to receive treatment. Teachers expected gifts to teach. Police expected money to protect. Power belonged not to the educated or the honest, but to those connected to the military's inner circle. In this twisted system, a car driver could earn 4 times as much as a doctor. The message was clear: integrity gets you nowhere. Loyalty to the regime gets you everything. Poverty by design. Burma is rich in jade, oil, gas, timber, and rare earth minerals. But the profits never trickled down. The elite grew fat, while most citizens were left in darkness, literally. Even in the capital, children studied by candlelight, while the junta exported electricity for foreign cash. This wasn't mismanagement, it was a strategy. Keep people hungry. Keep them busy surviving. Make resistance a luxury they can't afford. The weaponization of education and silence. School was not a place of empowerment. It was a tool for indoctrination. Critical thinking was punished. Questioning authority was dangerous. If it doesn't concern you, stay silent became not just a survival tactic, but a national motto passed from parent to child. The illusion of reform. In 2010, hope briefly returned. The military allowed carefully controlled elections. Aung San Suu Kyi was released. SIM cards dropped from thousands of dollars to a single coin. Roads were fixed. Power became more reliable. But the junta never really let go. The Constitution reserved 25% of all parliamentary seats for military officers. They held unshakable control over the defense, home affairs, and border ministries. Divide, then destroy. The regime played a cruel long game. In Rakhine, they deliberately altered demographics, then used their own manufactured crisis to incite hate. The result? The 2017 genocide of the Rohingya. 700,000 people displaced. Entire villages wiped out, and women subjected to mass rape. It was systematic, it was intentional, and it was ignored by much of the world. 2021 coup and the rise of a people's resistance. In 2020, Suu Kyi's party won in a landslide. The military responded with a coup. The brutality that followed shocked even those used to repression. Children shot dead in their homes. Protesters burned alive. Severed heads displayed in public. The military's unofficial doctrine was no longer hidden. If you are not one of us, you deserve to die. But instead of retreating into fear, something incredible happened. From every corner of Burma, urban and rural, Christian and Buddhist, Chin and Karen and Bamar, ordinary people rose up. The resistance was born, and for the first time in modern history, a nation's government was crowdfunded by its own people. The National Unity Government, NUG, formed in exile, became a symbol of hope. While Russia, China, and Thailand supplied arms and diplomatic cover to the junta, Burmese citizens sold their jewelry, skipped meals, and sent money to the resistance. The war continues. So does the will to resist. The military continues to bomb schools, hospitals, and entire villages. Humanitarian aid is blocked. Donations are stolen. And yet, the people adapt. Drones are crowdfunded. Underground schools are established. Clinics operate in forests. Children study in caves, and teachers carry textbooks through minefields. This is no longer just about politics. It is about the moral core of a people refusing to be extinguished. The world must not look away. Burma is not just fighting a dictatorship. It is fighting to preserve human dignity in its purest form. In every hidden classroom, every whispered lesson, every handmade drone or smuggled medicine kit, there is a message. You can bomb our cities, but you cannot erase our courage. Documented military bombings of civilians in Burma. Selected incidents. Here's a list of notable airstrikes and bombings by the Myanmar military targeting civilians since the 2021 coup. May 12, 2025, Depayan Township, Oi Tine Quin Village. Target, school. Death toll, 22, mostly children. Dozens injured. May 2024, Buthadong Township, Rakhine State. Target, Rohingya villages. Death toll, dozens of civilians, including children. Villages burned, aid blocked. April 11th, 2023, Pazigi Village, Sagaing Region. Target, gathering for a community event. Death toll, over 170 civilians. One of the deadliest single airstrikes since the coup. January 2023, Lake Kaw, Karen State. Target, displacement camp and nearby village. Death toll, at least 20. Hundreds displaced again. October 2022, Ananpa Village, Kachin State. Target, Kachin Independence Concert. Death toll, 80 plus, included children and artists. September 2022, Latyat Cone Monastic School, Sagaing. Target, monastery turned school. Death toll, at least 11 children. Gunfire continued during rescue efforts. December 2021, Moso Village, Kaya State. Target, convoy of civilians. Death toll, 35 burned alive, including women and children. Bodies found in charred vehicles. October 2021, Chin State. Target, entire town of Thant Lang. Death toll, 20 plus. Over 160 homes destroyed by fire following shelling. April 2021, Mindat, Chin State. Target, residential areas. Widespread shelling during resistance crackdown. A call to conscience, the world must act. The people of Burma are not asking for sympathy. They are asking for solidarity. For 4 years, they have endured unspeakable horrors. Schools bombed, children burned alive, entire communities erased. And yet, they continue to resist, not with foreign aid or global backing, but with their own hands, hearts, and hope. This is not just Burma's fight. It is a fight for humanity. We urge the international community to stop arming the regime. Every bullet and bomb supplied by Russia, China, or tacitly ignored by others is a strike against innocent lives. To sanction the junta's financial lifelines, cut off access to oil, gas, and banking systems that fund their war machine. To recognize and support the National Unity Government, NUG, the only legitimate representative of the Burmese people. To provide safe, unrestricted humanitarian aid, no child should starve because a dictatorship blocks food trucks and loot supplies. To hold war criminals accountable, the generals must one day stand trial for their crimes against humanity. Burma's people have shown extraordinary courage, but courage alone cannot stop jets or feed displaced families. The world must act, not later, not cautiously, but now. Because silence is complicity, and history will remember not just the crimes, but those who stood by as they happened.